Well, folks, we're back at it. The Roottrees are dead, and you've killed them. Last time we discovered the identity of quite a lot of the Roottrees. I think we're just down to a few identities we haven't figured out. I don't know whether or not that will be the end of the game, but it's possible that we wrap this up pretty soon, or there might be a lot more on the horizon. Demeshi, thanks so much for the Prime Gaming sub. Let's jump back in. We figured out Beef Baby Bob. That's why you can't go to sleep. You can't afford to miss even a moment. After all, you have a poster on your wall. I don't like it when my search engine talks back to me. So here's where we're at. We have identified quite a lot of people. The people we haven't figured out that matter to us are this person, who we know their name, we know their Tessa Roottree just by process of elimination, but I haven't found a lot of information about Elias M., so I haven't figured out that connection yet. We're going to dig into that a bit. Also, we have several women. We have Samantha Roottree here. We have Gwendolyn Morden here, and we have Bonnie Hudson here. The names, I'm pretty confident, are all correct, and the portraits as well, even. But I'm not certain I understand... I'm not certain that I know how to find more information on them, so we're going to dig in. Yeah, the running joke last time was that every time I didn't know a woman's occupation, every time the game didn't give me, or I was having a hard time finding information, I kept using housewife as a way to see if I could lock them in, and the amount of times that worked was... You know what? I'll just come out and say it. Galling. Alright, so we need some information about... I'd like to be able to lock in some of these spouse names. I'm a little unhappy that I haven't figured out some of these, so... So I'd like to see if I can figure some of those out along the way. Start with Edward Roottree. Maybe he went by Ed. Okay. And maybe I can look in some of my periodicals. Ed Rootree. Edward. I think I've already checked some of these. In my perfect world, I would lock in all these other ones. I really want to figure them out. But I'm having a hard time searching for them. Samantha Roottree. Let's see what information we haven't found yet. Gwyneth. So Gwyneth was Gwyneth Madsen. Does that give me any information I can work with? Maybe under her married name, Cattrall? Sam Cattrall? Am I spelling that right? Yeah. Just trying to figure out what angle I take to find out more about Samantha Roottrees. Yeah, we know this one. Maybe I should dig into this steamy correspondence book again. Mention a daughter. Father of a child she hid from society in some way. The letter ends in a mention of a twisted twin that seems to evoke imagery from classic literature. So I think the thing that we're going to discover here is that Samantha Roottrees actually has a twin. Mention of your brother's twisted twin. No clue. What's up, gamers? It's shocking how little information I'm actually able to take out of, like, there's presidents of the company that if I search for their name, I find nothing, which is wild to me. You would think that there would be something. Maybe looking up the word dichotomy? That seems like a bit of a stretch, but... I didn't really think that was going to do a whole lot. Oh, Sky's always having a good time with something. Bifurcation? Hmm. Just feel like I have a lot of pieces that I can't find any information about still. Apparently this has some... How about school-bound publishing? Nope. It's the belt that looks like two raviolis, I guess. Maybe I need to look for Granny's sisters and Granddad's brother. Is he the one slur? Nope, can't find out any information about Spider Search. Sorry. I really don't want to start with the duck tonight. What was the last periodical I unlocked? Starlit, probably? No. Gwendolyn Wilson? I don't need any tips, so thank you, though. Alright, I feel like I just need to get unstuck right now. Brian Jones's business clients had a relevant name. I feel like I already searched this pretty aggressively. Roottrees Motors? Fucking hell, man. I searched every one of those, but just not in the right places, I guess. Local family mechanic. Nope. Legal troubles. So I want to find out more about these spouses. Hey.
Can I get you anything?
Drink.
Okay. You done with speaker?
Yeah, I sent you a message.
Oh, did you? Oh, I'm so sorry. What do you want to drink?
No.
Okay. Did you have a nice time, Speaker?
I did.
You see, we made the big pit.
I did.
All right, here you go.
Thanks. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Enjoy your jazz.
Thanks. Okay, so let's see. I might be able to go backwards from Jim Roottrees. Maybe his 1996 public appearance. No. These spots don't care about an occupation, they just want a name. Going backwards from their maiden name doesn't seem to be leading me to much. I've got 1, 2, 3 spots that still need to be filled. Why can't I find this information? I'm gonna set these to housewife, I don't really care, and replace them when I find something better. That way, any of them that I haven't found, I can assume that the game is defaulting like it always has been. Quaritch is such a specific name, though. Yeah, if it had locked them in, that would have been kind of funny. Not getting any hits for this person's name. I'm thinking that the information that's going to lead to that is going to be really obscure. Hey, Beak. Yeah, I mastered it. The saves worked fine for me. Maybe I need to look at the other albums?
There blazed a spark of light that ever brightly shone, from her starting days imparting wisdom to conquer life unknown. Though someday she'd depart in part, I'd never be alone. In my heart I'll always be the son of...
Is it gonna rhyme? Is that shown, unknown, alone, so it's gonna be son of Joan? That's actually a really funny way to clue that. That's clever as fuck.
There blazed a spark of light that ever brightly shone, from her starting days imparting wisdom to conquer life unknown. Though someday she'd depart in part, I'd never be alone. In my heart I'll always be the son of...
She's a dancer. But none of those are coming up. Clara Lansing. Clara Roottrees? So maybe information that mentions Ed. I know she had some mention of her brothers. Okay, maybe I get that one by process of elimination. Let's focus on Zachariah, I guess. I mean, I've only got 2 names left, so I could brute force this by just leaving them, and my next lock-in will either lock them in or it won't. Zachariah Morton. I just feel like I'm missing any valuable information about either of these 2 people. I cannot find anything about Zach. Zach Morden comes up with nothing. You can't find shit. You can't find anything. I feel like I have not been able to find anything about Gwendolyn Morden, but she's got to be the only lead. I feel like I have pulled and pulled and pulled at the strings of Carolyn Morden and have found nothing. Gwendolyn Morden. Could also be going through their grandchildren. Like maybe their grandchildren wrote something about their grandmother. Maybe there's more information from Stephanie Landon. This claims it has 2 more leads. I'm dying. Can I get access to an art periodical of some sort? I may come back to it, Mutt, but I think for right now, no. I appreciate it, but... Brian Jones might have some information as well. Let's go back to Brian Jones. Brian Jones... Stephanie Jones. Okay, thank God nothing came back for art. That would have been embarrassing. Mermaid? Can't find any information about that art piece. I was kind of hoping I would be able to find a periodical that would help. And, of course, this book isn't going to be put into my evidence, but take it to Eloise and Stephanie. Let's just go through the evidence. This has a piece of information I haven't used yet. It could just be this picture that hasn't been locked in yet. That's a possibility. But it could be something more. I don't exactly know how these numbers work, right? Like if I take this picture away and this name away and this job away, it still says 1. So that's what it was trying to tell me, is it was giving me that information. The rest of my leads seem to be from the diary, but the diary is just so stream of consciousness, I cannot figure out what I'm missing from it. Both diaries contain leads, it claims. Go back to the diary. The local farmhand known as EC. I don't know that I have found anyone named EC. Ernie and the kids. Her adopted grandfather. Green thumb of her mother. Does it want me to look up confirmed bachelor? Yeah, I know what that term means. Is that what it thought I didn't have? No? Okay. Grew up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. So I had suspected that Miller here was the same person mentioned in the other one when EC is mentioned alongside John. And I looked in a lot of places for John Miller, but I could not find anything. And they were roommates. I don't think the person's name is EC Miller. I'm literally just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Can I get Anderson Farms books? I mean, this feels like nonsense at a certain point. Head of farming, Mrs. Cattrall. So it'd be Gwyneth Cattrall. Why do you offer discounts on Tuesdays? Why does that help me? What the fuck am... Bob, I don't know where you're getting these hints. But no. Let's focus on Bonnie Hudson. There's clearly another picture of her somewhere. So there's got to be something I can get. Let's look at Bonnie Kellogg. And what was her maiden name again? Hudson? What, Hudson twins? We know that Davy Kellogg the Fourth, Huskies? Hmm. Alright, Mutt. Hit me with what you were thinking. I'd rather chat with you before I talk to that duck again. You're gonna suggest a library search? Gotcha. Alright, Doc. Revisiting the diary provides enough information to place another relative? Bullshit. Bullshit. Absolutely wrong.
To my genealogy genie. If you're reading this, it means you've locked in 49 blood relatives. Congratulations. I knew you could do it. There are 2 more entries on the family tree.
The
I'd like
diary
you to
calls her a
consider.
farmer like 16
These last
times.
2 are optional.
I guess that's
You can summon me
true.
whenever you wish. However, this will end your search and reveal.
I still never figured these out. I'm not sure if I can ever lock them in now. It might be too late. This is just a mechanical question I'd like the answer to. If I type the right things into these boxes, will it lock it in, or do I have to press I'm ready to, like, gamble with whether or not I'm right? It's a bit of a bummer. So my first thought is that it's going to be like maybe a brother, one of Elias's brothers? Elias's brothers? Time traveler. Not necessarily. It was someone who was already growing a beard when all of his kids were fairly young. I am not trying to say, like, his kids couldn't have grown beards, but I'm saying that, like, this guy is definitely being portrayed with an older portrait, I think. I think this is supposed to read slightly older. So I would say age-wise, he's probably up here. I know I've searched this book already. S. Williams. I don't have any names left. I'm all out of names, buddy. All out of names. Kind of interested to know where the duck leads me at this point. I'm not eager to take a hint just yet, though I don't know exactly what threads I can even pull on, so I'm not long for this world. But I'm very interested in what direction that even points me. None of my evidence points in any direction. I guess let's just go through a few things. Okay, hear me out. What if we were too quick to write off red root tree? Maybe... Maybe red root tree is not a red herring. Well, his middle name is Herring. I feel like I missed that before. What is an Ireland? Never heard of it. Okay. This feels like the game's idea of a big puzzle, and so it feels like I'm gonna be a little unhappy with myself if I poke the duck for this one. But I just don't feel like I have a single thread to pull on.
Inflation is rising and so is our pride.
Big car on fame, make love not hate.
They fight overseas, but we'd rather skate.
Guys all rush.
See that I'm pretty. Ladies blush and send me so witty. Out of luck, tonight we're pity.
We're rolling,
Rolling, rolling, on down to the city.
Politicians at large are hopeless.
the bankers in charge are all clowns.
The party's so better than protest.
So signs up while we boogie down, 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 down.
Guys all rush to say that I'm pretty.
Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city.
It's maybe someone Catrol? Or Christensen? I think I'm gonna ask the duck to give me a lead. I think I'm gonna do it. I don't know that I ever found this page. Just out of curiosity, okay. I didn't know if it like left that up there. Okay. I wonder if it was specifically hinting me at something I hadn't locked in, not the big puzzle. Oh, I'm gonna force that fucking duck to give me a hint. We're going back to the duck in just a second. I'm trying to make sure I don't have any loose ends before I head back to the duck. Detail about that book I might have skimmed over. Okay. Future of candy? Is there like a volume of... Oh my god. EC, egg cream. Hold on. Like a disowned child? I wonder if it was like a son who came out as gay and his father disowned him. And so he became a farmhand on the farm. So this was just 4 years earlier. Well, I think we're on the right track. Egg cream. Done. Got it. I think we can put a bow on this bad boy. Hell of a way to go. I mean, very cool reveal. Don't get me wrong. You did great, game. What the fuck do I do now? I'm not gonna like the answer. It's because the answer's gonna be head back to the duck in about 10 seconds. Available. Available. This is the main game, yes. I'm gonna strangle that duck until it tells me what it knows. Egg cream. Egg cream. Egg cream? No. Egg cream. Egg cream? Egg cream. Egg cream? Egg cream. I'm shocked that Teen Blast has nothing to say about egg cream. Bob, every time you want me to ask you whatever thing you looked up on the internet about this game, I'm gonna click the duck again, just so you know. Yeah, I'm fine with it, Bearminator. I'm giving you specific one-time permission to tell me to look at a thing. A letter being received with the wrong name on it. Egg cream. Alright, well I'm gonna have to go through a lot of stuff, so just be patient with me. I didn't really hate Elias Roottree before, And now I have grown to hate him. Now I think Elias Roottree, and I'm sorry to say this, but I think he might suck. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm just... This is cancel culture run amok, yep. Oh. I do remember that. Hold on. So I was sitting here thinking that I was being stupid, thinking in a specific way. But if this fucking book confirms it for me, I'm gonna be mad because I already solved this puzzle in my head and then thought, nope, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Hold on, I just gotta find it again. There's a lot of stuff in this tableau of information. If it's right, if it's true, I'm going to be upset unless the game can provide me adequate explanation. And I have not yet decided what adequate explanation will be. It was the names section. Hold on, it was the names section. I remember once receiving certified mail for an Edward Clancy route. It's just backwards. It's Edward Clancy and Clancy Edward. Go fuck yourself. I'm shipping it. Damn, I got the names wrong.
So, you thought EC was Edward Clancy Roottrees, and his partner was John Miller?
Okay, the fact that you voiced that makes me think either I was right or I fell for the obvious bait. And I'm worried that you have chosen to voice the thing that I typed. I don't love that. I don't love that right now.
That's exactly what I needed to hear. I'm Sam Madsen, though you know me as Samantha Roottrees. Yup, I got old. The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago.
You wanna snap a Polaroid or something?
My book tells the truth about Elias, of 5 pieces, and my parents. Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers. Edward Clancy Roottrees and John Miller. By now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just an incredible guesser.
I'm very good at guessing, and I didn't have to consult the rubber duck even thrice.
Lauren was right. I hated the 5 pieces. She just didn't know my full reasoning. My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man. But his identical twin Clancy and his father, Elias, were not. At age 16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand. Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed. Having one in the family was unthinkable. The same year, I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix both. They tried to erase Edward Clancy. They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name was deemed a dirty word. He became EC.
Do you think it's because they chose a terrible flavor?
We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away, to isolate me from family. But Elias couldn't erase us from existence. Laura never realized I was the little girl from her diary. Who could blame me for being so confused that day? Her father was an exact copy of mine, except without the beard.
Oh, they were twins. Edward Clancy and Clancy Edward. You named your twins in a stupid way. That's really clever. That's a really clever way to really fuck them up.
And while the Five Pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work. It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all, but there he is in the background. The sixth five-piece. Patsy returned, and things got complicated for Elias. She fought for my freedom, from a life she deemed unworthy. Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father. At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. I began to hate the Five Pieces. My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat, and that his grandchildren would become outcasts. His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago. He had trained to take over as president. But due to family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy. A real Roottrees. He nearly ruined the company. When Ernie took over, he saved the operation. Over 13 years, he made the family billions. Ernie earned about $36.
I did like his idea of caviar-flavored candy, though.
They got by on Debbie's salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death was my tipping point. Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy. Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry. Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust, but couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative, even out of wedlock. That sounded familiar. The Clancid Trust that Elias established was designed to secure his family's future. His entire family's future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling apart. My book can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as, and that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the Trust, as anyone else. The Clancid Trust will secure their future. They can decide what to do with their shares. But I'm old, and I'm not in it for the money. The truth has been eating away at me for years, but now I can set the record straight, thanks to you. As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has.
Yeah, my family's full of twins. I'm made to understand that it's like a genetic predisposition.
Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present and future. So thank you. You knocked it out of the park. With your expert work, the truth will come to light.
That's because I'm very talented.
And when it does, my share of the Clancid Trust is yours. Like I said at the beginning, set for life. Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, everything finally feels complete.
Okay, hold on. In my defense, I did put housewife for a lot of people. And I contend that that was the extent of my guessing, okay?
Unless a whole lot more Roottrees somehow appear from thin air. This is the last time I'll come knocking. Thanks again, and so long.
The game, will not write a single word about half of these names. What do you want me to do?
We're rolling
Authenticity. And then everything changed. There's another mystery to solve. To say that I'm pretty, these blush, find me so witty. I'm a secret Roottrees. Classic. Am I allowed to fix the things I didn't get locked in? So how was I supposed to figure out these names? That doesn't make sense. Hold on. Hold on. Unknown name. Unknown name. Duck, explain yourself. No, I didn't. Does it say that? Oh, you're so right. Now lock him in.
So, you
No.
my not but and hit at my but whatever they go and the clans
Oh, I can. Shut the door. Just slam the door in her face. On down to the city. Okay.
Hi,
Hey, it's Clark.
I'm Clark. Probably not who you expected to be knocking, but life's funny sometimes.
Life's funny sometimes.
You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down.
Hey, why don't you show me both of your hands real quick?
A lot has happened in the last year. Far too much of it public. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes, too. I never wanted to be president. I'm not great with stress. With my mother's deteriorating I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that everyone's coming out of the woodwork. Now that it's public knowledge that Clancy Trust covers any Roottrees despite their history with us, a lot of potential cousins have surfaced. You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. It was a disaster for us. And then Miracle went and made it all about himself.
Classic Miracle.
The long and short of it is a lot of potential cousins just showed up. Sam's helping some of them. But she's not really going about it the right way. And she's not taking calls from anyone in the family. I let it slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in. It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side. In the meantime, if you're willing, I can share our files with you. Pass them along to Sam if she reaches out. I'm genuinely hoping she'll realize I'm an ally.
So the gun in your pocket is for her, not me? I can live with that.
Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this. To each their own.
Sky bills? Welcome. Person on the original tree. The name Roottrees Mania seems to suggest to me that this is a sort of randomizer. I just want to know, is this a sort of randomizer? Yeah, I can help you fix that, Sky. Previously on, the Roottrees are dead. Okay, but maybe he's back in? I just got an achievement for trying to search while offline. Just log in, man. Nope, still nothing. Carolyn Morton's sculptures were not useful. Hey, she tried really hard. Come on. Sam Madson's book. Had some sections on other family secrets and rumors. Much of it didn't matter to the primary purpose of the book. Some of it's new to you, maybe important to your new search. Roottrees Company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release with multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Second release was emailed to business newspapers 3 hours later and announced that after a vote, Ron Roottrees would be taking over temporarily as an interim president. So went on to state that Ron was aware of the book, had verified the claims within, and would look into compensating Mrs. Madsen and her family immediately. It also stated that the company's lawyers would be taking immediate steps with the family to revisit the Clancy Trust's terms to make sure nothing like this could happen again. It's quickly clear to business reporters and analysts that the time between the two press releases would not have been logistically sufficient to gather a majority of the family, even using conference calls. This was reported on main news channels, and a third, much shorter press release came the next day, claimed that the draft of the announcement was made prematurely and that Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottrees would be taking over as the company's first joint presidents. Also stated that any compensation planned would be based on a stringent verification process. Clark was announced as the permanent successor to Carl Roottrees and welcomed Sam Madsen to the family officially. The company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clancy Trust. This includes any other new questions of lineage. So what's changed to the Clancy Trust? Sam, her children, and her grandchildren should have all been covered under the trust, according to the wording revealed during an internal family conflict between Ron and Robbie Roottrees. Seems that those who wrote the trust, Clancy Edward Roottrees, at the direction of Elias Roottrees, purposely deceived the rest of the family about the exact details of how it worked in an attempt to keep Sam and her father, Edward Clancy, his own twin brother, in comparative poverty. Because the rest of the family made money hand over fist, they had very little motivation to question their understanding. Sam's book revealed this to the public. It did not go over well. Clark Rafferty LaRue took over the company, and his most celebrated move was his first official one. He ensured Sam's family would get their share. To help facilitate this, the inheritance aspect of the trust is now under the control of a third party, Ruby Legal Enterprises. Ruby Spratt. I'm just getting some of these things into my history before Mideastern University. Okay. This ensures the financial motivations of Roottrees family members will not interfere with the investigations into potential new Roottrees. According to Clark's letter, however, some family members are still doing their best to slow the investigation by refusing to answer questions. Can't find much about the company before this year, though the articles tell the same tale. After the fiasco of the Six Pieces and the revelation that the Roottrees internal law group was complicit in such a cover-up, they hired outside counsel. Look up this person. Portrait of a Changed Man. Follow-up Foreign Gospel did not perform well critically, but still sold quite respectably. She's written a few more books since then, including a biography of Van Gogh, but her first two are her claim to fame. According to a site about authors, Cicely is known for her nonfiction with a focus on exploring darkness in the human psyche. Recently, Cicely appeared in a magazine called Picotee. No, try that again. Thank you. Well, let's look at some of these articles. What? Nothing relevant? I disagree. And even Red Bull. I hear it gives you wings. Oh yeah, we got to see what's going on with Time Cube. No, sorry, it's still irrelevant. An issue that focused on a talking toy fish and the demonic passages it supposedly said as the batteries ran low. Picotee had an article about a canceled book by Cicely Sanchez. The book's subject was Guy Hudson, and the issue is said to contain pictures that Cicely did not have the rights to publish. Because of the pictures, the issue was pulled from the store shelves, making it subject to some conspiracies and an instant collector's item. Due to this recall, the version found in these archives is incomplete. So we're looking for that. Baselzebub? Basilbub? Basilbub. This utensil that will help you lose 50 libs. So I'm looking for this, but the original issue of it? Five P's. After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be Roottrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. The highest profile of these, by a wide margin, was a rapper named Feliz Fellows. Changed his moniker to 5Ps as a publicity move at the same time. 5Ps is the only notable person on the updated tree. Root of all evil, 1 star. Hypocrisy of those who claim money is evil. He points out that the only people who think money is evil are those that have it. In the song, 5Ps triumphantly talks about taking the Roottrees' wealth due to it being his birthright and giving it to those who need it most.
Attention, attention, Roottrees. This is 5Ps coming at you from the real world. You know, the place you ain't ever lived in.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Root of all your
Man,
problems.
y'all are hypocrites, sitting back in your massive estates, built from the cash that your ancestors gave you, acting like you somehow deserve it, based on your family's creations. Yo, but looky here, sonny, don't you come for our money, or you might burn bright in hellfire someday, like that Madsen chick and her 2 dads. My pappy's cleansing trust should keep you away. Yo, it's disturbing, catching a sermon from a geezer who's never known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners cause we didn't earn it, when all of your worth it came free with your name. You expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from he without blame. How about instead I turn my other cheeks and spread them? When you give me a kiss, you'll know just where to aim.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars,
Well, there's a lot more here.
evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burn their spoons with a needle. So
I would like to point out that it does not say that there are no clues in these lyrics.
voices are actually horrible.
How I'm better off penniless, grasping for morsels. How wanting my share,
That's actually extortion. With your candy ass name, synonymous with sweets. Oh, you wanna call me classless? I'm gangster from Portland, but I play that game. I came up on the streets. The only streets you reppin' are Park Place and Boardwalk. Hypocrisy, monopoly is toppling. When I knock, have Jesus pop off my pockets. Cause the same God that got to steal my mom from me is what he wants, right? You to live in poverty. And if you're suddenly not eager to unhand that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to take my portion, and I'll do it all legally. Class action, courtroom, decorum. I'm way past your fancy ass dormant.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
bring the choir in.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take
They don't have
those
rapper?
problems away.
Fine.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. Whoever calls dollars.
Why is that not going to give me... Maybe I look up David Fellows then? What is females? Shocking that I can't find a photo of this dude. Alright, let's move backwards a little bit. We'll come back to him. Portrait of a Changed Man was the name of a book. Out of print. Okay. Foreign Gospel is almost certainly about the miracles, right? Travel to Thailand and begin to preach, specifically with the goal to convert 10,000 people. Who's this guy? Never heard of him. Internet, show me hunky hotties. For clues. There might be clues on them. We have a naked tame. Well, I think I'm about to get a new publication, so... Yep. Legal consultant for a class action lawsuit against the manufacturer of steering wheel covers. You know, for all the bullshit I've searched so far, I feel like I found precious little. Roottry Mania. In another high-profile misstep, Miracle Roottree publicly and vehemently denied that 5Ps was a Roottry. The Roottree's legal team then offered to do a DNA test to get 5Ps to drop his claim, and in a moment that caught what seemed like the entire world by storm, the test proved he was a Roottry. Suddenly the world was obsessed with the Roottrees. Anonymom and Jane Doe Roottry. In July, an anonymous woman, who the press began to refer to as Anonymom, appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that an affair with a Roottry led to the birth of her daughter, aka Jane Doe Roottry. If true, to make her daughter yet another secret Roottry, and therefore entitled to a share of the Clancy trust. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would turn out to be the last chapter in the Roottry Mania saga. As more and more of Anonymom's story came out, people began to notice how much it echoed 5Ps in nearly every significant way. The court of public opinion began to turn, confirming the world's suspicions. The DNA tests, orchestrated by lawyers on both sides, proved that her daughter was not a Roottry. The final event caused public disappointment, smugness from doubters, and countless accusations of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempt at fraud. Things got a bit ugly, and the fun of Roottry Mania seemed to disappear overnight. Now, a month later, it feels like a distant memory. She claims she slept with Guy Hudson, and that her daughter was a Roottry. Yep. Okay, here we go. That's where I'm gonna get his ass. Print out a picture of 5Ps for me. Yeah. Mother Joanna when she was Zach Morden's secretary at a company picnic. He was what, 4th president? 3rd. I'm going to assume Fellows is the last name here. And you need 4 to lock in, so we're not there yet. Don't worry, he's got a lot more affairs apparently. Allegedly. Ooh, salacious. 2 people from the original tree. Oh, that's probably normal. That's probably normal. It's probably just normal stuff there. Left out anything that wouldn't fit the agenda. He points out Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary for overseeing the farm division of Roottrees, and that Sam did the same before her, and that Sam's family was not destitute, and that really it was only her son who chose to take on a job with no salary. He claims that though they didn't have to, the family helped pay for her son's medical bills after voting that it was the right thing to do. Miracle also says that the story about his father, Elias, shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum: stop sinning or be disowned. Miracle says it was EC's own choice, and that Elias allowing him to earn food and shelter on the company's dime was Jesus. Especially considering that he and John continued to live together. Miracle then pivots to the fallout from 6 Pieces. He recounts a deluge of claims to the Clancy trust that the family have been subjected to. He doesn't cite any specifics, but says that every time someone comes forward, the family devolves to arguments. They've had to hire an outside legal team to help, but so far every case has been demonstrably, laughably false. All they do is tarnish his family's reputation. He focuses on 5Ps who appeared on news time before him. He calls him a grifter and a delinquent and says he's using their name and products to sell filth to the masses. Of all the accusations, he says this is the most dangerous because it exposes the world to hatred. He cites 5Ps' lyrics as violent, sexist, and ungodly, and prays the boy will repent, retract his lies, and find religion. Man, you just keep talking, bro. Lastly, he turns to the future. Miracle states that those who wish to hear the true story can join him on his farewell tour this upcoming fall. The Miracles Roottrees are planning on touring the country's churches one last time, and that now at age 71, Miracle is the oldest living Rootree. While he plans to continue preaching his own church in Butler County after the tour, this is your last chance to hear the truth from the man with the most complete recollection of one of America's most notable families in your own hometown. The article mentions that Miracle's son, Miracle Jr., did not wish to comment and has a statement from Clark Rafferty LaRue through the Roottrees law firm. Miracle does not speak for his entire family. We are working carefully on a plan to definitively disprove any claims of infidelity in our family's past. The article also does not refute Miracle's claim that he is the oldest living Rootree, despite Sam Madsen being born the year before him. It was unclear if Miracle made the claim out of ignorance or spite. DNA test proved that Anonymom's daughter could not be related to the Roottrees. This was announced at a joint press conference with the lawyers representing both Anonymom and the Roottrees. Each party ensured their respective clients provided accurate samples immediately after the negative results were released. Many of those who had already been skeptical felt vindicated. Others who had built up hope. Scientifically proven that Jane Doe Rootree is not a Rootree. This doesn't mean that her mother and Guy Hudson were not involved in an affair. She had every right to make her claim, as it's been verified that her stories about Guy Hudson were not exaggerations. Please leave their family alone. Many people claim this high-profile anticlimax and public backlash was the beginning of the end for Rootree mania, since much of the fun was the shared fascination about secret Rootrees. Others think that, like any fad, ran its course naturally. Regardless, this was the final notable event related to the release of Six Pieces and soon went back to normal. Anonymom's affair does not appear on your updated tree. Heard of a fake pharmaceutical advertisement for shit together. While the segment isn't fully about the Rootree Candy Company, it was released in the weeks after their bizarre response to the release of Six Pieces by Sam Madsen references the recent news. In the sketch, a woman ordered a number 5 at a drive-thru speaker. Then after pulling forward, she changed her mind at the window, asking to switch it to a number 3. This caused a lengthy backup and annoyance amongst the restaurant's employees and other patrons. After she pulled away, as the employees began helping other customers, the same woman then barged into the restaurant past the current line, loudly complaining she didn't receive her number 5. After this, the sketch transitioned from the restaurant scene into a pharmaceutical commercial. Gotta get my shit together. Oh, I get it. It's not funny, but I get it. Manager at a department store in North Carolina, and her daughter's name was Courtney May. Corinne S. She had filed for bankruptcy. The article speculates that Anonymom and Corinne were in on it together, and even speculates they might have been lovers. God, there's so much more information now that I'm trying to, like, sift through. It's too late now, but maybe I'll make a root tree problem for my data structures final next semester. One last affair for the road. Despite being less cells, this feels more daunting than the original tree. Ran farm for a period starting around 1968. Many of their hires at the time were young single women Guy often spent a lavish amount of money on private parties. Bribed at least one politician to open a factory in Brazil. She mentioned that Elias and Gwyneth were known to loudly argue, sometimes about another woman. So I need a new photo, but this is definitely... Well, I mean, yeah, it would have to be, right? This would definitely have to be Elias Roottree. And someone with the name Beth? Did it say it was his secretary? I missed that part. Yeah. In Butler County times twice. Most recent time was when it closed. The owner, Rochelle Zimmer, sold the land. sued by Steve Garland. She delivered produce from her mother's farm. Used to work extra hours just to be there during her deliveries. Book released before the internet was widespread, so mentions are rare. One book collector states that publishers were unprepared for the demand and that there was no second printing, so it's unusual to find a copy in the wild. Steve Garland. Oh, those are cooking classes, not a book. My bad. Okay, so the story that accompanies this one is maybe useful to me. For years, two bakers, Flora and Yates, flirted. They grew their friendship, compared recipes, and combined knowledge. She loved his salt and pepper beard. He adored her rosemary cheeks. But they thought sweetly about one another. But he was one day whisked away, conscripted to bake the army's bread. By the oil of the lamp, Flora's tears began to salt her bread. Flora's unique dough had earned her a position as the king's personal baker. Yates had found success as well. He baked for the kingdom's 45 diplomats. Okay, so this story seems like it has to do with having a bun in the oven. Interesting. Flora and Yates. Hmm. God, I'm fighting for every scrap of info I can find. Ruby Legal Enterprises feels illegitimate. I don't know why. Just the way that they're writing about it. Like, obviously all of these search engine pages are editorialized. They're not first-hand sources. But even the editorialization seems suspect. Series with a heavy focus on wealth inequality. This didn't go over well with the predominantly middle to upper class audience in attendance. Yeah, it's their clothing line. A lot of this stuff is lost to me, it feels like. This apparently leads me to a ton of stuff. Let's look up Basselbub. Sure. Why not? Sure? Are you sure that that's nothing? I don't know. Seems kind of promising to me. I'm not really sure where to start here. I feel like I hit a pretty obvious thread of information very early on, and then nothing. Pilot and co-pilot of the Roottrees jet during its crash last December. Although the NTSB... Trisha King... Overall phone lines in the ongoing storm. Son-in-law managed to flag down an officer. Maybe unrelated to anything? ...1982 was the last fair. Can I get a picture of Cicely Sanchez anywhere? Man, I can't find shit. Where could I find those pictures? What year was Miracle born? I wish I could look at some of my old evidence. Archived evidence, here we go. $1935. Light bulb. Hmm. I haven't searched for everything on your list of notable events. That's a good place to start. I thought I did. I feel like I've searched for every keyword in here. Kristen Valdez. someone mention Kristen Valdez in a way that I care about? Broke his arm in 1981. Okay, you'll need to be more specific. I already searched for Roottrees Mania. I definitely searched for Roottrees Mania. I don't have it in my history. What? Oh yeah, we went to the duck immediately. To trigger new printings of other Roottrees related media. This include Lauren's diaries. Leslie Florence and Harrison Lane. But that hasn't led me to anything. I don't understand what it was trying to point me at. Oh my god. Yeah, I think my brain is just too cooked. The duck just said, "Hey buddy, you know all that archived evidence you have? Time to go through all of it again." Cool. Excited. Yeah, I think I'll wrap up here.